Now these next three categories, dictionary, spelling, and autocorrect, these really relate to editing. And you'll want to discuss these settings with any freelance writers or maybe the editorial department that you work with. Make sure that you're on the same page, literally and proverbially, with these settings. So under dictionary, you can choose to add custom dictionaries or shared dictionaries. For example, you might have a custom dictionary that you've created, or maybe your editorial department created with InDesign or InCopy. You can actually add a new user dictionary or even multiple dictionaries and share those dictionaries off a common file server. That way you're guaranteed that everybody using InDesign is using the same dictionary and therefore the same spell check routines. The rest of the options are basically advanced settings related to hyphenation, again, that you'll want to coordinate with your editorial department on. But let's jump to spelling because we have some really convenient features here that really anybody can use. Right here at the top, we have several options for flagging common errors, misspelled words, repeated words, uncapitalized words, or uncapitalized sentences. Those are on by default, and I'd leave those on. The other thing here in the middle is Enable Dynamic Spelling. This is a great feature. This was actually added in InDesign CS2, and it essentially adds dynamic spelling very similar to what you'd expect from something like Microsoft Word, that as you type or as you edit, InDesign will flag with a little squiggly red underline the problematic words, those misspelled words, repeated words, uncapitalized words, and so on, right inside your document as you work. Now, when I'm normally working, I enable that feature. However, during some lessons that are coming up, we're going to be using some lorem ipsum text, essentially some placeholder text. And if we had that feature on with placeholder text, well, you know what? Every word would be flagged red and misspelled. So I'm going to leave that disabled for now. When you get to work on your own projects, I would encourage you to enable that option. The last category here related to dictionaries and spelling is autocorrect. As habits form, many people mistype the same words all the time. Wouldn't it be great if InDesign could automatically correct your most common mistakes? Well, it can if you enable autocorrect. So here at the bottom, we have a long list of frequently misspelled words, Y-U-O. InDesign knows that that's probably supposed to be Y-O-U, so it's just a nice little hand-holding tool here. It doesn't force your hand, but it does fix many common mistakes. Now, I want to show you an extra little tip related to this feature that I think is really cool, and not many people take advantage of it. Specifically, here at the bottom, I'm going to click the Add button. Think of autocorrect as your built-in shorthand tool. Let me show you what I mean. Click Add and type a misspelled word. Think of a string of letters that you would never really type in a normal word. So I'm going to choose GWB. And then in the correction field, I'll type President George W. Bush. When I'm done, I'll click OK, and for now, I'll accept these preferences. You don't have to do this next step with me, but just watch what happens. I'm going to choose Control-N or Command-N on the Mac to create a default new document. I'm going to grab the text tool, and I'm just going to click out a little text frame. I'll zoom in, Control-2 or Command-2 on the Mac to zoom in to 200%, and I'm going to type the word GWB. It's not really a word, but because I've added it to autocorrect, as soon as I press the space bar, watch what happens. Autocorrect is kicking in, and it's essentially taking that little shortcut and stretching it out with the complete string that I used as the correction field. So if you have boilerplate text, legalese, maybe really long names and titles that you need to type frequently, trick autocorrect to type that stuff for you. So I'm going to go ahead and close this document. I don't need to save it, but I'll press Control-K or Command-K on the Mac to jump back to the application preferences, and the next category up is Notes.